Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of TerraVentures. It's Flying Magpies here and I'm starting things off back at the new castle base. So if you have a look around, we've now managed to complete all the walls. We've got all the towers up, although I will be extending those at some point. Now you also note that I've also gotten rid of the inside keep, and that's because I wasn't entirely satisfied with the way it looked. Let's get rid of that egg. Yeah, and some more chicken. Anyway, so what we need to do is figure out how we're going to put in this castle, this inside keep. And it's a little bit odd because this wall here is a little bit annoying. There isn't really that much space to give a nice square castle, which is just a little bit annoying. If I put it here, it's too far away from the main entrance. If I put it here, it's going to have to be really tight to these walls. So there's a few considerations to make. I am thinking that back here will probably be best, and then I can put some other smaller walls through here and wall off some areas to make some gardens and whatnot. So that is a plan. But if we just take off, why am I not taking off? I definitely have my lighter on, and that is working. Yeah, this is a little bit odd. I can't seem to take off. This server seems a bit laggy. Anyway, so what we need to do is figure out how we're going to put this castle, and now we can take off. So if we look around here, there isn't exactly a lot of space. We can't expand this walls out too much. That is pretty much fixed. If we want to extend out this way, we can, and I'm thinking we probably should move some of these walls a little bit. Ow. We probably should move these walls out just a little bit more, so we can have a bit more room. So that will require quite a bit of dirt, quite a bit of demolishing these walls and trying again. But in the long run, I think it should mean we get a bigger castle. One of the problems we have with extending the walls a little bit out is that we're currently at y equals 68, and if you look behind me, or I'll just go into first person again, if you look in front of me, the walls drop off quite dramatically. So even here we're going to have to do quite a bit of terraforming or just land generation, a little bit more up here, and depending on how far we want to go down, we've got quite a bit of dirt to place. Thankfully I've got 2 entire shulker boxes worth of it, but I'm still not entirely sure that's going to be enough. So what we probably will do is go from this wall here, bring the land up and the walls up, and continue to bring it up and not starve. Bring the level of the walls up to probably this tower here. So that should give us a little bit more room at the front, and we should be able to give a little bit more room to the main keep. So what I'll do now is start the process of getting all this land, and hopefully we should be able to have enough dirt. And with all this terraforming done, or at least the land raising up, it's time to start the process of ripping down these walls and this tower, and to rebuild them in a slightly better place. Unfortunately it's raining, but you can see here that it's probably not the best looking thing. It's just basically I pumped up the land and it doesn't really look that good, to be honest. So what I probably will do at some point is just neaten it up a little bit, or not neaten it up, mess it up a little bit. So something like this, just adding a little bit of extra bits to make it just a little bit more rough, and making sure it doesn't look as contrived as it currently is. So that's going to take a little bit of time as well. Rightio, after that little bit of destroying the ground and destroying the walls and rebuilding them, with this one coming out this way now, I've now got very straight lines, and I've also got myself a few maps so I can see exactly what this thing looks like, which I've also got back at my main base as well. So you can see that we've got quite a reasonably big island here, the castle over here and the township over here. The township supports the castle. What I'm thinking is that this area here would be the food bowl of the castle. So there would be some farms there. There will be probably a windmill somewhere around here. So there's quite a few bit of future plans. But what I do need to do is lay out the exact places for the fort, or the keep as it's called. So I'm thinking just along the middle here where my cursor is going, and if I build that reasonably close to the exterior walls, that should leave me with enough room. I could, of course, just expand the walls out this way more, but I've done quite a bit of building this, and I'm not particularly keen to destroy it and rebuild it again. So at some point I may do it, but not for now. So let's just get a whole stack of our stone bricks and start laying it out. Now probably around here or something, leaving 4 or something blocks. Now what we do want is a small tower on this side, maybe only 2 by 2 or 3 by 3. So where's my pickaxe? We'll destroy this bit, but that big block that I placed first is definitely the corner. So if we have a 3 by 3 hole in the middle, and there we go, and then we just have the exterior walls coming off like this. So not in the exact center like it is for the exterior walls, but this is just a bit of a smaller guard tower, more like a spiral staircase tower. So the walls will go off like this, and if we just build off in this direction, like so, leaving enough room on this side, so we probably should come back to here, something like that. Let's just get rid of those two, and there is a bit of a lag on the realm at the moment. I'm not entirely sure why. Probably someone's farm or something is really laggy, but if you at the moment there's no one else but me online, so I'm not entirely sure. I might have to look into that. So get rid of that. Then we have the exterior wall coming like that. So this one's built wrong. You'd be amazed at the number of times I build something and then have to destroy it because it's slightly in the wrong place. Even with my redstone things, it's in the wrong place. So that wall goes like this, 2, 3, and then the wall like that. We go like that, and boom. No, that's too big. You see what I mean? Just again, just a tiny bit off, and I don't know how to build it. No, wait a minute. That's the other way. I'm an absolute noob at this sometimes. To be fair, I think this is the first time I'm actually building a castle on screen anyway. So this is a little bit new for me. So we want the block like that. And there we go. This is more like it. A little bit more like it. Anyway. There we go. Alright, after about 10 minutes, or maybe not 10 minutes, of building that, we've now got to come out this way. And there's quite a bit of experience from when there's creepers and all that here. Now the exterior walls are the main defense of the castle. So those towers, the circular towers that I've got, are going to be built up quite a bit. But the interior ones, they will, of course, they should pick up above the main walls. I've come too far. They should stick up against the. Sorry, what am I thinking? So these towers here, they'll stick up above the main walls, but they won't stick up above the main towers, I think. We shall see. But the main point of these ones is to be the main living quarters of the people who would own the castle. So we've got our, and you can see the block placing lag there again. So we've got our castle here. This one comes out like that. I think it's like that. 3, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. And it should be like that. And that's good. And then we've just got the 4th castle point over there to build. And then we'll have a look on the map to see how it is. So this is a rather long clip, I'm aware, but it should be pretty good. So we build out by 2 and by 1. No, 2 on this side. Link it up, get rid of that block, and that block, and that block. And that should be a 3 by 3 square if I can complete the square like that. Bingo. Now let's just get over to our map wall and have a look to see exactly what it looks like. And then, yes, that was a waste of a rocket, but I don't really care. So get rid of those two. And hopefully the map updates. There we go. Then we need to do these two. Where did the other one go? There we go. And that should have updated. partly, sort of, not really. Anyway, you can see where the main key for the castle is, so I think that's pretty reasonable. The space back here will be used for something else, and we'll have to figure out how people are going to get from this entrance here to the entrance over here. But we'll figure that out later. Rightio, now after building up all those external walls, I'm trying to think how I can make this look better, and these walls are obviously going to go up quite a bit, so I think I want a little bit of a slant on them, which means that we need to build this up. Now, what I am not going to do is do the same thing here. I'm just not going to put something like this there, because I think that's too steep an incline. So what I'm thinking of doing is just putting it at the second level here, and going all the way around the outside of the walls and putting that in. So I'll do that now and then check back when I think I've got something that looks good. Now I've finished off that little bit, and if I look at it straight on, you can't actually tell the difference. So I might need to add a little bit of extra colors in here, maybe a little bit of the, what do you call it, the vine type, I'm not sure what you call those blocks, but anyway, so I think that's somewhat okay. I might do some extra layers as the walls go up. But anyway, what I want to do now is put in some, no, not over here. What I want to do is put in the staircase that will go up into the main entranceway, the main door. So what we want to do here is put in stairs like this. So maybe 3 wide. Let's go 1, 2, 3. And like this. What we'll do is we'll end this one in a solid block here, and then these ones can come up like this. No, not like that. Now, like, there we go, that's the way. Except now I actually should bring it back a block. I'm really being silly here, aren't I? Maybe I'll make, maybe what I'll do is I'll make it less deep. No, actually, I'll keep it like this. So we'll have the blocks like that, and again, this is subject to change, so I may change this a few bits, just like I change other bits. But we have like that, we go up like that, no, like that. Yeah, you see, I'm not entirely satisfied with this thing here. I think it should be flush with the wall, but this gives us enough room here to actually explain a little bit of design with a medieval castle, which is what I'm going for here. So if you're coming up like this, you can see that your right arm, if you're right-handed, which most people would have been back then, or still the same amount, you can see that your sword arm is right against the wall. So if you're trying to do a full swing from your right, swinging like this, your right arm's going to be right against the wall, and it will be harder. That said, when you're coming down the stairs, so if you're a defender of the castle coming down the stairs, your right arm is free to swing down and cleave your opponent in half. So that is just a little bit of a design feature that comes in with castles. But yeah, I'm not entirely satisfied that this is in the right place, so I'm going to figure it out and go from there. There's a few more things I do want to get done today, so this bit will be the rest of the outside for today anyway, and then we'll move on to the first part of the inside. Now, one of the next bits I want to do in the inside of this is to start working on the staff area, so all the servants' quarters, all the kitchens, and all the bits that would go at the very bottom of the thing, so maybe the dungeons as well. So that's it. Yeah, so the kitchens will probably take up 1/4 of here, and then we'll have staff quarters on the other, so kitchen in this corner and the staff quarters all down here, and then separated there'll be a big wall down the middle, and the dungeons will be down here. So of course every castle would have some dungeons, and we'll try and make those as dingy and as uninviting as possible. But of course the kitchens would be well used, so what we want to start down here is possibly a wood floor. I'm not entirely sure that's a wise idea, given that wood would rot pretty quickly, but I don't know. It would rot from the castle, but I suppose you could, if you had the time and the money, you could replace it. So what we'll do here is just cut out a nice big swath of territory for our kitchen, something squarish, maybe a little bit more. Let's just jump up a little bit more like that, and then that should be good. And what we'll do now is start covering it with some spruce wood, because I think that that gives a little bit of a homely feel, I feel. Just a little bit more of a nice, and should offset the greys of the colour of the walls a little bit more. We'll probably also change the colours of the walls, so put up some interior walls to make this place just a little bit more comfy. Let's put this in, and then we need to go back to the main base to get some various bits and bobs for the decoration of this room. Rightio, now that we've got a little kitchen area, I want to start off by building a big fireplace or a big kiln or something, because of course they didn't have those big fire stoves that you would see in a modern kitchen. So what we want is just a bit of a corner oven, I think, a corner place to build, and something like this should work pretty well. Where's an axe? I don't have an axe on me, so we'll just have to get rid of these things here, oh so slowly. Probably replace them with a bit of netherrack, and then light it on fire. And you did see in my inventory, I hope, the fireplaces. Will make use of that, so it does look like it's a little bit smoky and not just a fire just blazing away. That it actually does have something there. So where's my netherrack? I've dumped that somewhere else. See, this is the problem I always encounter. I tend to forget things, or I tend to just dump it in another chest, and then when I need it, it's just there. It's really annoying at times. But anyway, let's quickly grab our netherrack, wherever it might be, and get on with that project. So we'll build that up, and that should look pretty good soon. Alrighty, so what I'm thinking here is that the fireplace pit goes there, and we have just a little bit of a no, not quite like that. What we want to be able to do is stick things into the fire, or on top of the fire. So there's just this little bit of the cooking plate here. So this would be super hot, and then we can have a secondary layer here, which I actually missed one, which is a little bit silly. So if we put that there, that should be okay, and I think that looks reasonably okay. Of course, this is just really, really bad. I can't actually put anything back here. Let's not burn. Anyway, I can't actually put any bricks back here, because this is, if I destroy that, it actually leads to the outside. Actually, no, maybe not. I may be able to put something there after all. So, and yes, I'm aware I'm actually losing the red nether brick as I do this. Yeah, so if you see that one, it's actually directly behind, it's actually directly into the main wall, so I can't actually brick this up with something else, which is a little bit unfortunate. So I'm going to have to firstly get out here and repair the wall, which can be done pretty simply, hopefully. There we go. Now I need to bust my way in again, and that's pretty simple again. But yes, I do need to figure out how I'm going to do this kiln bit and try and make it as close as possible to an actual medieval one. So let's repair this wall and get on that now. And there we go, we've got ourselves a one layer thing. This bit is just the red hot brick from the heat of the fire, and we've got ourselves a nice kiln. Now obviously I'm going to move this little fireplace here to somewhere to the outside where the wood itself isn't showing, and we can also have the smoke rising up, because of course such a fire would have a reasonable smokestack. And it's really nice that No Young have added these fireplaces so that we can decorate with this. Now what I also want is just something like an open cut fire, maybe back here. So let's get out some more nether brick and line this bit with nether brick, which of course medieval people wouldn't have had access to this kind of stuff, but I'm going to think of it as fire brick. So what we have here, and I still don't have my axe on me, is a nice roaring fire with a rotating spit. So let's just get some netherrack down to the ground. Oh wait, there's my axe. There we go, netherrack onto the ground. If we have ourselves a spit things. No, that's not quite what I want it to be. What I want is to have the fire here, and then a hunk of meat in the middle, so it looks like it's roasting over an open fire. So that might be a little bit difficult to achieve, but I'm going to work on it and see if we can get that fully up to date. And here we go, we've got another another place to cook stuff, and this one is a spit roast kind of thing. So we've got the 2 levers, which are supposed to be like our rotating spit. Just imagine that there's like a line coming through here, poking through this. Actually, I wonder if I can get another lever and point it up and see if that would work. But we've got the lever coming through here, the things coming through here, and this one things would rotate, so up and down, back and forth. So if the levers are up, the meat would be up here. The levers are down, they're down here. So I'll get myself a couple of levers and see if we can make that look just a little bit better. Because again, this is all a bit of an experiment. This is the first time I'm building this kind of style, or at least a castle style. I know I wanted to build it last season, but that never actually ended up happening. So 3 levers. Let's see, where's the lever? There it is. And let's get in there to build the last bit of this section. So up. This is the time where I wish all my resources weren't so far away. But what happens if we put a lever there? It's almost right. I suppose we're going to have to use our imagination. And this one is where we just rotate the thing. So up, down, it's supposed to be more of a circular action. So round and round it goes, and round, up and down this will go. So I think that bit of the cooking stations are good anyway. So we need to build some bits in the middle, and then the kitchen will be mostly done anyway. And here we go, we've got a little bit more stuff in here. We've now got ourselves a pantry area. I'm not entirely satisfied with the way the lights are, but that can be fixed. I might just hang them from the ceiling in fact. So that should be pretty quick. But anyway, we've also got ourselves some tables. I do want to get some water tanks in here because I also need to put in a well for the castle, so that's going to have to be done in the future. Where's my lanterns? There we go. Let's just block them down the middle. Every second block should do it. And a couple down here. Maybe let's put one down the center of each pathway. The same down here. And there we go. So I think that looks somewhat okay. I do need to put in a few. I might want to try and put a few things on the shelves. I don't know. And so there we go. Unfortunately, as you can see by the time, I've actually run out of time for this episode. So we will be back in a future episode to do a few more improvements and continue working on the castle basement as well as other parts. So I've got some really good plans for this area. So I hope you liked this episode. If you have, remember to leave a like and subscribe. And don't forget to keep watching out for the next one. Goodbye.